او خلي الباب هذا ما في مشكله في الباب هذا عشان الشيخ واتس يور نيم
محمد علي جراناديروس
محمد علي
عبد المهيمن يقول
عبد المهيمن ومحمد محمد علي وعبد المهيمن. Don't tell me the other one because I'm not gonna remember it easy.
Granadares, you should remember it.
No, very difficult. Huh?
It's from Granada, the south of Spain. Granada.
كناديروس. محمد علي وعبد المهيمن خلاص. والشيخ انت؟ عبد الجليل. عبد المهيمن عبد الجليل. I have a problem remembering names. Yeah, because I'm 60 and he's 75. قول ما شاء الله. قول ما شاء الله. Say ما شاء الله. ما شاء الله. Say ما شاء الله. 72. Okay.
3 years more.
It doesn't look like it. I know. But this you need to be careful. I'm worried about him. Yes. مشكلة. أنا ما بغيت أقول. المفروض ما أقول بس. ما شاء الله. I shouldn't be saying it, but. لا ما شاء الله 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 بسم الله.
I'm trying to look like Abdul Rahman.
Yes. ها؟ ايش لا تبدأ. ايش بدأت؟ لا.
بعدين تسجيل الآن الحضور كم؟
No, you shouldn't have recorded the first one.
Please edit it out.
Okay, shall we start now? Okay, Bismillah wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulullah. This is Dr. Khalid Al-Dossary from Dammam, Eastern Province of Saudi Arabia, welcoming everybody. And I'm very happy to have received all the people here from Al-Qasim, Aneza and Breda, headed by Naif Al-Tuwajri, Sheikh Naif. May Allah bless you for bringing all those people. They've traveled a very long way. I'm very honored to have my dearest brother. For the past 40 years, I've been hanging out with this Professor Ahmad Nuriddin, Van Hubert Smith. This is his old name when he used to be a non-Muslim. Now, mashallah, he's the Dean of Prep here in Prince Muhammad University. And I'm going to be talking about something that is very important. Of course, I have my kids here. I'm very proud of them. Abdul Rahman, Ubay, and Al-Muthanna. Al-Muthanna is preparing the food, I think. So all of them is here with me. Very happy to be talking to the people in the Philippines. The people of the Philippines are very nice people, professional people. I really enjoy hanging out with them. I've been hanging out with them for the past, I don't know how many years. Never had any problem with them when I was at work with Saudi Aramco, when I was the head of the professional learning division, and when I was in charge of the training and the English departments of many places. But to be more focused, I would like really to share with you something of a great importance. And this program is a must-know for all those people in the field of da'wah, because we are in the field of human resource development. We develop leaders, we develop people in presenting Islam all over the world. So this program is called EIECC, Effective Islamic English Cross-Cultural Communication. Now, our business is developing global leaders, as I said, in presenting Islam all over the world. And it has to be a leadership from within, meaning what? Meaning we'd like to have everybody, كلكم راع وكلكم مسؤول عن رعيته. We'd like to make sure that everybody does this and apply this, كلكم راع وكلكم مسؤول عن رعيته, because everyone is a leader. Now we want to make sure that everyone leads from within. He doesn't wait for somebody to spoon feed him, to tell him what to do this. This is why we have established this program called EIECC, to make sure that we basically develop global leaders in this field. So what is our motto? What is our motto? Have a seat, Muhammad, Muthanna, Ubay, Ahmad, welcome. My son also, mashallah, memorizer of the Quran, Ahmad. Alhamdulillah, he's in Sharia, the second year. Very proud of them all. So what is our motto as a program? Our motto is be an Islamic exhibit on the move. Be an Islamic exhibit on the move all over the world. So we would love to see people becoming like what? Islamic exhibit on the move, wherever they are. Now, we're talking about individuals being Islamic exhibit on the move. Now, we, as a center, I have a center called Cross-Cultural Communication, a center for what? For learning and educational consultations. where we basically develop people in cross-cultural communication. This is general, with more focus on the Islamic culture, who we are as Muslim. Now, what we do is basically we build people, we train them to have more competencies around. Basically, we would love to see people having many competencies, like what? Like we want to realize their full potential by learning how to communicate ideas, by learning how to identify opportunities of da'wah, and sharing, by also knowing how to share the knowledge of Islam to the other people, by leading teams, working together and leading teams. And most importantly, we want people to lead with innovation, with creativity in the field of da'wah, with the quality. We don't want people to have something haphazard, something wishy-washy, not really very superficial. No, we would love to see people excel in presenting Islam, like as if they are working for big companies like Aramco, the oil companies, like Sabic. We have to make sure that quality is always part and parcel of what we do. And there is no quality if we don't have what? Development of people. Because development of people is the most important element. This is why one of the CEOs of Aramco, ex-CEO of Aramco, he would say always people, people, people. Meaning you have to concentrate on the people. Now, what are the three main goals? The three main goals of this program, EIECC, three main goals. The first one, we said it already, developing global leadership from within to present Islam so beautifully to the world. كلكم راع وكلكم مسؤول عن رعيته. Number two, becoming Islamic exhibit on the move. We would love to see people becoming Islamic exhibit on the move. Number three, we want to form communities of commitment all over the world where they commit themselves to presenting Islam beautifully to the world and making sure that peaceful existence always will be there, so that people will be attracted towards us, so that we can tell them the right image of Islam in the middle of all this barrage and distortion that's happening deliberately against Islam. Like these days, we could see the campaign against our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the program will come, develop leaders to present Prophet Muhammad to the whole world. We have a program called what? Speak or present eloquently Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to the whole world. This is part of EIECC. Also, we have another program presenting Islam through the adhan, the gems and the jewels of the adhan. We have another program presenting Islam through the Hajj, the pilgrimage, where you show the equality of Islam and the beautiful teachings of Islam during this great rite, obligatory rite. Now, these are the three things. Now, to do this, what we do, we bring people, okay, for 3 days, and we give them some tools. We make them live something called learning cross-cultural community, where they learn Islamic English, where they discuss in Islamic English, where they communicate in Islamic English, where they think in Islamic English, where they feel Islamic English, and we break the barriers between them and what? Presenting Islam in English. Because some of those who come to us, they have good English, but their problem is what? They don't use it for the sake of Allah, and they've never used it to speak Islamic English. So we make them live for 3 days learning what? Islamic English, learning from each other, coaching each other, evaluating each other, thinking together, working together, and moving in an area that has got lots of exhibits. This is why we use the logo called what? Be an Islamic exhibit on the move. Okay, now, so they stay we give them 15 hours. 15 hours. This is called foundation, EIECC foundational program. Before they start applying for 8 weeks, then after that they are supposed to have 40 hours. After they finish the 3 days, the 15 hours, they do 40 hours of assignments and 40 hours of meeting together, 2 hours every week. They turned into teams. Every 5 work together on their own, in the cafeteria, at home, with their families. Maybe the family, 3 of the family, the wife, the husband, you know, and we give them the content, we give them the methodology, and we tell them now, during these 8 weeks, you are supposed to learn, apply what you learn at the same time, use the social media, meet non-Muslim at the same time, and come back again, evaluate yourself and present yourself, and we give them criteria for communication, and they evaluate that if for 8 weeks we are with them, coaching them through EIECC WhatsApp group. You know, so the 3 days is not the end of it. The 3 days is the foundation. We just show them this is the environment that you have to live it. You have to learn through it. You have to lead while you are living this environment, which is called what? The cross-cultural learning environment. So that's it. This is what we usually do. And of course, I just want to mention here why this program came into being. Maybe Ahmed can tell us more about it. Professor Ahmad Nuriddin can tell us more about it. Which is basically there are many people who speak English language, and Professor Ahmad, you might say more about it. And so there are many people who speak what?
Yeah, well.
But they don't use English.
The mic, okay.
Okay. Professor.
Yeah, thank you. That's okay, I can see it. Well, the sound is okay. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So to continue what Dr. Khalid was saying, there's a rationale to this. When we first started, as we said earlier, someone came to us and said, you know, I have a lot of people who would like to, and this was some 35 years ago, who would like to present Islam to their workers or to their colleagues, their friends. However, they don't know how to do it. They speak English well. So the idea behind this, well, okay, so now let us provide people with the proper language, number one, but not only the language, but the proper attitude or the required attitude that would allow them to communicate with people who did not know much about Islam, or in many cases who were actually antagonistic against Islam. Okay, so the rationale was that we want to present, we want people to learn to present Islam effectively, not just to give information, but we are emphasizing the word here, effective communication, because quite often people, they did not have the proper terms. They lacked the proper terms. We spoke earlier about people using the wrong or misleading words, unintentionally, by the way, and also inadvertently delivering a misleading message. So another aspect of the rationale is that participants get to improve their Islamic English, and this will lead to, again, communicate effectively cross-culturally. Because, again, the point of communicating across culture is very, very important, because someone might think of in his culture might mean something totally different in another person's culture. The way it could be a simple gesture, for example. It could be a word that has a meaning. I'll give you a simple example. I remember a long time ago, someone was delivering a message, and they used the word, they wanted to say bayina, which in Arabic means something good. But the person, these were some Puerto Ricans, were listening, and they heard ballena, which means a whale. Yes. And they were like, yes. What does, you know, and we have many examples like this. So this is a simple example of cognates in language. And this is very important in terms of cross-cultural communication, to avoid words, for example, that might throw someone off the path of understanding. The common example we have for people who speak Arabic and Urdu, I think, is the word bandar, which is a simple name, but if you say it to someone else, and it means something, you know. So these are just some of the things that we came across, and we wanted to make sure that people were sensitive enough, they had the proper cultural understanding to deliver the message. And I'll turn this back over to Dr. Khalid. Hold on a minute. Here you go.
I would like to capture what Professor Ahmad has been saying. I will talk about the objectives. There are specific objectives that we need to understand why we have this academy or this program. Because remember, this is a program that can extend itself to become an academy. You can have it in levels, level 1, level 2, level 3. But the methodology is one. The methodology is one. It's called constructivist methodology in education, which is very important. Now, what are the objectives? The first objective is improvement of Islamic English concepts, terms, statements, and getting reasonable knowledge about Islam. That's the first. The second one is improvement of communication competency. And remember, communication is a huge subject. This is why I spend in the workshop, or we spend in the workshop, when we talk about communication, some time. We speak about communication types, we speak about communication criteria. Most importantly, we speak about something called communication peaks. Because at the end of the day, we want people to reach, at the end of the day, we want people to reach to something called communication peaks. What are the communication peaks? The communication peaks, you need them whether it's at work, whether at home, whether in da'wah, whether you are on the plane, whether you are in the dispensary or in the hospital. What are the communication peaks? So all of these communication types that we introduce and the communication criteria, must lead us, and this program must lead us to three things. We call them the three peaks. Be yourself when you talk, be original, be spontaneous, and be quick-witted. Be original, be yourself when you talk. Because if you are not yourself, you'll be imitated. Like if I imitate, for example, a great speaker, that's not me. But I will teach people the best practices of this good speaker. But at the end of the day, it is not not me. So I want to reach with the people to themselves. Okay, they call it the communication peak, we call it. Secondly, I want people to be spontaneous. They can easily remember the Islamic words in English. Right away. They can recall the words quickly in any situation. 3, I want them to be quick-witted, clever enough to lead the situation. Clever enough to lead this. And this is what you need when you are on a platform like Waqt al-Hiwar, Rukn al-Hiwar. If you are not quick-witted, spontaneous, you'll have a problem. You need to be quick-witted, clever enough to know how to lead the situation, not just the situation, even to lead the person who is with you, interlocuting or chatting with you. It's very important to have these three peaks. We call them communication peaks. Now, what is the other objective? We want to improve people working together, self-led teams with a direction. What's the direction? We call them self-directed learning teams, meaning that they have to have a direction. What is our direction? Presenting Islam beautifully to the whole world. That's our direction. Very simple. Not getting into the alleys and confusion of misconceptions. Okay? What is the other objective? The other objective is to be able, to discuss Islamic concepts easily. The other objective, to be able to give a short presentation for 15 minutes. Okay? If I say, okay, Brother Abdul Muhaymin or Brother Abdul Jalil or Brother Muhammad, please, I want you to give a talk for 15 minutes. About anything, about Islam, any topic in Islam. But remember, this program concentrates on presenting Islam, not getting into the confusion of debates, or fighting people. No. As much as possible, we'd love to see people, We'd love to see people presenting Islam. Aslim, taslam. Be a Muslim and be safe. We have to present who we are as a Muslim. Now, what is the other objective? We have already talked about the word religion, the word ibadah, worship. Basically, we need people to be aware of some of the hidden meanings of some of the words, or else you will be shooting yourself in the foot unintentionally, because you will be thinking that you are presenting Islam, but some of the words will be what? Self-defeating. Yes. You will be basically hitting yourself and saying something wrong about your Islam. by some of the words, by utilizing some of the, like the word religion, you have to be careful. The word worship, the word Allah, the word, we have to be careful. The word God. There are many words that you need to be careful how to use them. Okay, the last one, which is the most important one for us, is to deliver this program to all the youth all over the world who speak English, to save them and save their Islamic identity by igniting their passion to start using English for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like here in Saudi Arabia, in the Arab world, in the Muslim world, we have a lot of people who speak English. Okay? But unfortunately, they don't use it for the sake of Allah. So we want to ignite their passion to start using it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's basically it. Now, of course, it is the program is, yes. You want to say something here? Oh, okay. Professor Ahmed would like to say something here. So
just something very, very quickly, a concept that, again, and I'm sure you remember this, when we started again, a very important concept was what we referred to as the doctor Dai.
the Dr. Dai.
And the idea behind this is that and Dr. Khalid mentioned it just now, to be spontaneous. If you go to see a doctor, you don't start dispensing medication, right? I mean, the doctor doesn't start dispensing medication. What would the doctor do? They would first listen and size up the situation, see what you actually need. How? By being spontaneous, asking questions and listening. The idea of being a very good listener is important, because at the end of the day, if you do not know where this person is coming from, you will not be able to provide the proper information that will help him to understand Islam. Yes. So the idea here again is to, just as a medical doctor does, will say, listen, and that's the process of diagnosing. Yes. And then you can provide the proper medication guidance. You know, so often, you know, we used to do these scenarios, and I remember someone would come and they start telling someone, you know, about Jesus is this, and you know, and then at the end the person say, yes, but I'm a Buddhist. Why? Because they did not take the time to know them first. Okay, so yes, okay, so that's what thank you.
So
okay.
Just to end here, before ending, I'd like just to say the requirements and the duration of the program. I mentioned it earlier, but I'd like to emphasize it. Remember, before I get into this, remember, the whole concept is based on a theoretical model that I designed in my studies, in my master's degree, for my worldly life, and my doctorate, whatever. So the whole thing is based on a model called self-directed learning teams, stepping stone towards what? Knowledge society in a cross-cultural communication. And presenting Islam. And this is the methodology or the educational philosophy called social constructivism. Okay. So social constructivism is basically anything related to self-directed learning, self-development, self-management, adult education, you know, where basically you know that you go to the people knowing that they have a lot of treasures and talents and capabilities, and you want to get these talents, capabilities and treasure out so that they put it together and they use it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the concept is very simple. Go dig deep, find the treasure, get it out in a very powerful professional learning methodology, and put this treasure together so that people will be communities of commitment, and they will learn, they will lead by themselves. They don't wait for somebody to spoon feed them. This is where they construct, you know, when they say constructivism, because they construct the land better. When you use the traditional way of learning and teaching, it doesn't construct, you know. So the concept is very simple. What you ever learn, immediately teach it to others, you will learn more. Do you understand? So whatever you learn, immediacy is very important here. بلغوا عني ولو آية. If you know one ayah, you don't wait. Right away you convey it to the other people, you learn more. If you learn, you get knowledge. If you teach what you learn, you build the character of sharing and caring. Do you understand? So this is called constructivist approach. Okay, and our problem in the schools and the education and teaching the new Muslims and teaching our kids, we don't apply this constructivist approach. Even though Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has spoken about it. من تعلم القرآن وعلمه, right away, you don't wait. بلغوا عني ولو آية, you don't wait. As soon as you wait, you lose building the character. And most importantly, in leadership training, you have to build the competencies, which are the ingredients of the character. Okay, so now, what are the requirements of this program? Very simple. We want people to be willing to come to our workshop, okay, to present Islam. Simple. We want people to be able to take part in conversation. We want people to possess at least basic level, and let me say intermediate level of English language. We would love to see people coming, not necessarily du'at. This is not for du'at. This is for anybody who speaks English. We'd love to see them coming. You know, du'at is only one segment, you know. What is the duration of the program? As I mentioned, 3 days, 15 hours. Then you turn into teams and you meet for 20 hours, 8 weeks, every week only 2 hours. Okay, sometimes 4 hours for the final presentation. Okay, and you do assignment for 20 hours. Throughout the 8 weeks, you are using the social media, you are using chatting, you are evaluating what you do, you're meeting your friends, and everybody is presenting, and you are cooking up what? Cross-cultural communication messages, because we will give you content and we'll say, look, be careful. You don't read it the way you read it. No, we want you to read it exactly like what we have taught you in the 3 days. And we give you tools, and you have to apply the tools. And you believe me, you will see difference in yourself, and you will excel higher than any even language institute if you really apply it right. And that's tried, and we were amazed about some of the participants who attended, and they amazed us the way they presented their topics. Now, so basically, you're talking about 15 hours and 20, which is the total is what? 55 hours. This is level 1. Then if you want to continue on your own, you go to level 2, we give you content, another content. You want to go to level 3, we give you another content about only Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Like these days, we have a lot of groups in Oman, in Bahrain, in Pakistan, in Egypt, and they are following us. We are coaching them, and some of them are doing da'wah. Some of them have got some people becoming Muslim already. One family, Indian, already had about 30 people becoming Muslim only through the practice and the products that they've done through this. Presenting Prophet Muhammad ﷺ to the world. And especially these days, many people are asking about Prophet Muhammad, you know, and one family in UK, 16 individuals became Muslim. Through what? طبعا by the guidance of Allah, and through this family in Oman, Indian family, a lady with her 2 daughters, you know, communicating, applying the same assignment, applying the same products, and they've established their own YouTubes, and they've established their own projects and leaflets. That's only one family, and I'm sure they had other people. And we had other people who also did something similar to this. Now, that's basically it. And of course, all the participants are supposed to have English in the language, which is, you know, at least intermediate, you know. With this, I'll stop here. And we have more than what I've said, by the way. There are more workshops that will come. There is, for example, a workshop called How Can We Win Hearts? How Can We Win Hearts workshop. We have another workshop for the adhan, how to utilize adhan to presenting Islam. We have the workshop for Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. And all these workshops, 2 days, 3 days, 2 days, 3 days. And we have another workshop. If people would love to go to these misconceptions, even though I don't want to get into the misconception a lot, but if people, can have also workshop for the misconception, and if they want to do it for 8 weeks, they still can use this book, the blue book that Naif wants from me now. Alhamdulillah, we've already prepared 100 copies for you. Alhamdulillah. And people paid for it, don't worry. No, so you're not going to pay any penny. Just make dua for all of us. Okay. Jazakumullah khair. I'll stop here. And if you have any question or comment, please, because this is very important for the people who are listening. So please, let's consider. And we can, by the way, if you want to do a Zoom, we could do 2 days or 3 days. But Zoom, of course, you're not going to get the full 3 days. You're going to get only one tool. The other tools we'll be missing them, because face-to-face is much better. We could do it in Aneza if you want to do this. I could come gather people there. We could do it for 3 days if you want, or Breda, or yeah. Yes, sir. Sheikh Ahmed, you want to say something before? If you want to say something before because not very.
Questions? Yeah.
Sheikh Muhammad, do you have any question?
No, just one thing you mentioned, because you said English, and you mentioned earlier also that this is not limited to English. This could be any language. That's just one thing I wanted.
Yes.
The model is there, and whether it's in Visayas or
yes, you could use it in any language.
The same methodology. The same methodology.
Yes,
the same. That's the only thing.
And by the way, I give workshops through this methodology, in leadership training, in communication in Arabic. By the way.
Yeah. So that's.
Any questions?
Any question?
Any comments from وقت الحوار?
Yeah,
But
and now I just remember.
let me say
Here you
something.
go, brother.
Yeah, let me say something before I leave here, or before I continue. We are in the surface of what? Providing service. What type of service? Is developing what? Human resource development. What we do, we partner with people who've got platforms, electronic platforms of chatting, or chatting electronic platforms like وقت الحوار, ركن الحوار, like electronic da'wah in Kuwait, like Islam religion, like Islam house, like usul. We partner with all of these people to make sure that we put people on these platforms and use their content. Simple. Because many of those, they have platform, very nice platform, but unfortunately when it comes to training people, we lack a lot. So we train a lot of people. We make sure that these platforms are always fit, with people, the right people with the right training. And we make sure that we are also feeding them with the right content. So we bring the content, those with the content, who's got like usul, like Dr. Naji Al-Arfaj, websites and materials. We partner with them, like Islamic, and all of this, we partner with them. We make sure that we train people through this same content that is already trusted, that is already vetted, that is already evaluated. And a lot of money paid for this, content. But unfortunately, sometimes we lack developing people. So we provide the service of what? Providing professional development unit for the people. For example, you can take our program and you hook it in your center as a professional unit, development unit, to develop people. And you can continue there. You take everything from us. We give it to you and we say, ma'as-salama. That's basically it. And if we need our consultation, we are there for you. That's what we usually do. Yes, Sheikh Na, if you want to say something? No. Or Sheikh Muhammad, any?
I'm shared.
People are watching me now?
Yes.
Are they watching me?
I'm sharing in more than 50 groups. And
Wow.
pages.
Wow. Sheikh Muhammad, you are great. MashaAllah, tabarakallah.
This is what we're talking
That's why I was busy this.
Lovely. MashaAllah. Yeah. So we could do, like for example, now I have a partnership with Pakistan. They have a reading club, and the reading club encompasses all the Pakistanis with all the nationalities all over the world. Pakistanis, but they have the American nationalities or British or Canadian, whatever. And mashallah, it's a great club, international. Now they have partnered. We explained the program only once, and after that, mashallah, they were running to come and partner with us. You know what they've done? Last week, they assigned me as their ambassador in the Arab world, representing that's part of the partnership. I share because they are, mashallah, they want people to read, which is an excellent chore. And this is the first word that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that was revealed in the Quran. Iqra. So this is their main job, is to make sure that the Muslim youth, Pakistani Muslim youth, and of course, this applies to all the Muslim, to read. So we can have another partnership with you, and we do something. We do the workshop, we do programs, whatever you want. Yes, Sheikh Ahmed, you want to say? No. خلاص? Okay. You want me to say سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك خلاص؟ Okay, سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. جزاكم الله خير. May Allah bless you all. حياكم الله. And I